We back with another live. And it's actually warm in my car, so I might be able to stay in the car the whole time. But what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? I brought We back with another live. And it's actually warm in my car, so I might be able to stay. I brought my bowl so we can do the Bebo's bubble. What's up, you guys? Welcome in. I see Adama. I see Japan in the chat. I see Abby in the chat. I see Kenzie. I see Color Me Calm. I'm glad you feel better. I hope you changed your pants. I see Lala in the chat. Lala loves you too. She says Lala loves you. I see Luke in the chat. Hey, Luke. Yeah, it's because for whatever reason, my phone be like it was like connected as a viewer and for the stream. So hopefully it's not glitchy anymore. Is it glitchy? That was before yesterday. What are you talking about? Oh no. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm keep burping. What's up, Kwa? Your dog scared you. You guys, we have a challenge going on right now. If we get 10 super chats in the next hour, I'll do 10 push-ups. We probably won't get that many super chats, so I'm not worried about it because I surely don't think I got 10 push-ups in me, but I will do my best if we get it. Bugs is crazy. Abby, why you trolling? You know good and well I don't like no bugs, girl. Where is your smartest child that wasn't a girl with a PJ? Oh, you talking about my son? Hey. You talking about my son? I collect cups. Okay, you guys, I got my little theme on the top. Hey sis, can you play the song I just made? I look confused. Yeah, I was trying to type this thing, so I was like kind of focused on that because it's really hard to try to type when my phone's on my tripod. Japan wants to be a mod for a day. What's up, Bryn? What's up, Kelly? Y'all ridiculous. I got home. Ooh, I'm glad your mouth isn't numb anymore, Luke. What's up, Sid? Maybe one day soon, Japan. Maybe one day soon. How's your play and your rehearsals going? Trey, be nice. Watch your mouth. Yeah, we're not playing no songs, though. What's up, Abby? You're getting YouTube deleted? Why? What's the, I don't know what you mean, Donnell. Da 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 yada. You guys, my voice is still like super tired. Rehearsal and my youngest is at home with dad. What's up, South Philly artists? Welcome. I'm sitting in the car waiting for my son to get out of rehearsal. He has rehearsal every Tuesday and Thursday night. I'm organizing my rainbow loom. What's that? ATM send the super chat. I think, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can edit it. Let me see if I could start a different Okay, here, I'll remove this go. No, yeah, I think the super chat has to be, let me see. Thank you for the super chat. ATM. Let me see how I do this. Nope. I don't even know how to set a goal anymore. Oops. Let me see. I was trying to fix the goal. It's called Dare to Dream, I think. Yeah, Dare to Dream. I don't know how to do a goal on here now. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, there you go. I was able to set a goal. For whatever reason, it was like, it was not working. Not today, Japan. No. I don't need any moderators in the chat tonight. Why are you getting your YouTube deleted? You guys, I have my... No, please stop. Yeah, Abby, I'm going to be doing my nails on Monday, girl. You can't hear me? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Okay, I just refreshed it. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, Qua said she can. Okay, Color Me Calm says, oh, okay. You guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Milky. How are you? Oh, Color Me Calm, you were able to hear me the whole time. Sharpie, stop. You're going to get put in timeout, girl. Stop spamming. What's up, Damien? What's up, you guys? Oh, okay, Color Me Calm. I'm glad. God loves you too, Sharp. What's up, Abby? Oh, those are some cool emojis. Got it? Good. Get it? Got it? Good. All right, in about 4 minutes or so, I'm going to pull a tab. I'm going to pull one. Who knows? What's up, Christina? I'm just trying to give people a little bit more time. Technically, actually, we have 9 minutes because the live stream wasn't supposed to start till 6:30. Go to sleep, girl. What's up, Marshall? Ain't nothing wrong with going to sleep. Can I do your nails, Abby? Girl, I don't know how to do, like, I only do my mom's nails. I do my nails and my mom's nails. That's it. Why you laughing at? What you laughing at? Color Me Calm. Yeah, my voice is still so tired. So tired. Oh no, Christina, why's your mom at the hospital? What's wrong? What is on my forehead? I know, Abby. When I do my nails on Monday, Abby, you should do your nails with me so we can do our nails at the same time. Oh, I'm so glad, Luke. I love having you here, man. Appreciate you. All right, you guys, I set a goal that if we get 10 super chats, I'll do 10 push-ups. But it's going to run out of time. It's only for, I think I only set it for like, okay, we got 40 minutes left. There was one super chat, but it didn't count it. So that's why I had to reset it. That's why the internet would, like, the whatchamacallit was messing up. Have I seen those viral squishy toys? Like a squishy? Like a squishy? Neatos? Oh, I think I have seen those. Hey. Thank you for the gift, JB. I'm doing a challenge today, though. If we get super chats, you got to get 10 super chats, I'll do a push-up. Thank you for the gift, 100. Hype me up. Hype me up. Dumpling things is crazy. Why are you saying sorry? Yes. Because we sure don't want to talk about your potty. There's these kids out here playing soccer. I keep looking over there at these kids playing soccer. It's like two groups of families. It's like one little girl and her dad, and then it's another dad with a son and a daughter. And it's, well, no, he only has one daughter. But it's just cute watching the dads play with their kids outside of the park. It's super cute. Aiken, no, thank you, but I appreciate you. Do I have green makeup? No. How much push-ups do I get for $50? Oh my goodness. Well, let's do the thank you, Fly Guy. First, let's beat this goal of the 10 super likes or the super chats, and then we could talk about more push-ups after that. Good night, Fernandez. Not tonight, Christina. You guys, I already have a handful of mods, and until my channel grows, I'm not going to need more moderators, you guys. You're a stay-at-home dad? That's what's up, I guess. So does your wife work? What's up, Ike? Did you ever find Nikki? I appreciate you, though, Christina. Thank you for wanting to support my channel. I definitely appreciate you. All right, you guys, we got about 4 minutes until 6:30, and I'm going to pull the first one. I hope so. I hope she is, Ike. I hope that she is. Yeah, Jarrell, I'm okay. I'm a little tired. My voice is tired, but yeah, I'm okay. Where that energy. No, it's so funny, Jarrell, because I'm always like super turned up. So anytime that I'm just like chilling, people are like, Bebo, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. Like, I'm a whole human. So I have like every human emotion. I'm not just like, I always talk about the Inside Out characters, and I often identify with joy because of the grace of God. I feel like I have a lot of joy. And so I'm always like super bubbly and giddy, but I am also whole and I'm also a human. And so it's exhausting to be that turned up all the time. I'm also a morning person, so you'll catch me before 3 o'clock. I'm the most productive before 3 o'clock. Anytime after that, I am. Yeah, I used to be a social worker. I have my master's in social work, Ike. I'm sure my mom's doing fine. Uh-oh. There's like an ambulance and a police car speeding past. I pray whoever they going to is okay. My mom's doing fine. She was reading. I'm working on my second novel right now, and she was reading it. So as a social worker, yeah. So when I was working in social work for the last 4 years before I left to be a stay-at-home mom, I worked in child welfare, which is like child protective services. I don't know. It's called different things in different states. So there's Department of Family Human Services, there's Department of Child Protective Services, CPS. They have a bunch of different names, but it's child protective services. I was a child welfare specialist. I did that for, like I said, I was a caseworker for 2 years and a supervisor for 4. And I worked for a program that our main focus, so the kids that we worked under, the families that we worked with had allegations of abuse or neglect. Sometimes they were founded, sometimes they were unfounded, meaning that when an investigator would go and investigate the home, so say somebody calls in the state and be like, hey, I be hearing, the parents fighting, like it sounds like the parents be fighting, yada, 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 whatever. Or they call the police and they find out that these kids, like these parents fighting or something in front of the police, or the parents are alcoholics or whatever. DCFS comes, or the department, the state comes and does an investigation to see if those allegations are true or not. And whether they are indicated or not indicated, or founded or unfounded, the families can be referred to services, which is where my program would then come in. Thank you for the gift, Christina. And we would provide services for the families to keep the children in the home. So the program that I worked with, the children still stayed in the homes with their biological family. They didn't get put in foster care. This is like a step down program. So you have like foster care, like when people think of child protective, they think of like DCFS, like taking people's kids. So there's like foster care where kids are removed from their families, but there's other step down programs where like there's still abuse and neglect, but they haven't removed the child because it's not like severe enough, or like there's not immediate danger. So for example, you might have 2 parents who are in a domestic relationship, like battery. The parents are fighting all the time, but the kids don't necessarily get hurt, or the fights happen outside of, like while the kids are at school or something like that. They're not going to take the child out of the home because the kid isn't really like, you know what I'm saying, like at risk. But then you'll have situations where like both parents are, addicted to different substances, or both parents have, beat on the baby or something like that, where they get removed. So we were like a step down program. And so I did that for 4 years. It was very hard. A lot of court involvement. It got way busier once I became a supervisor. Obviously, as a caseworker, I had anywhere from like 10 to 12 families. But then as a supervisor, I supervised 4 to 5 workers who had 10 to 12. So then I was then at that point supervising anywhere from 50 to 60 families. So yeah, it was pretty exhausting. No, I agree, Ike. I believe that so you guys know I'm very passionate about families. Part of the reason why I'm very passionate about families is because of the work that I've done in social work, but also just because of my faith. And I'm a strong believer that statistically, children perform better when they stay, when they're raised in a 2-parent home with their biological parents. But I don't necessarily believe that just because a kid, like you have a kid, doesn't mean that you're the best thing for the kid. And so, yes, I know that I know of and know several children and several families where the children had to be removed from the home and the child actually was better off not being with their biological parents. Again, it's unfortunate when that's the case, but sometimes that's the case. What's up, Shar? What's up, CC? Thank you also for the gifts, you guys. I saw while I was like doing my little monologue. Thank you, Jarrell, for the floating heart. I think I said thank you to Christina, but thank you again. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Again, I feel like if it can work, you know, and that was like one of the things with my program, right? There was obviously concerns, right? So you have kids who, you know, like it's not maybe the best upbringing, like, you know, it's not, they could be better if they had more resources or something like that. But that's kind of where the program that I work for was, like, we would try to provide resources to the families so that the kids can stay there. You know what I mean? Oh, it's okay, Kwa. I appreciate you. Cece's in the car right now. All right, you guys. Unless you guys have any more questions, I always prefer questions in the chat. So if anybody has a question in the chat, yeah. If you guys have any questions in the chat, please ask. You can ask away. I'll give you guys about two minutes or so if you guys want to ask me anything. If not, then I'm going to just pull a random question. And these questions, you guys, I made these over a course of time. People would ask me random questions. I would put questions in here. What's my hobby besides DIY? Well, most recently, the only other thing that I do with my free time besides like DIY stuff is live streaming. But I also enjoy reading. When I have the time, I would love to just like read for hours, just like tuck away and read a good book. So I really do enjoy reading. I also enjoy writing. I've written books, obviously, but I've read more books than I've written. So I really like to read. What am I doing tonight? We're doing just like a Q&A segment. It's called Bebo's Bubble. So that's where you guys basically could just like ask me questions. And then I have some like pre-made questions if you guys can't think of any questions to ask. But yeah, I'm actually about to change my position really quick in my car too. Because I want to be able to like put my feet up a little bit. I have a new tripod. It's coming, like it's already in the mail box. I have to go pick it up. I have to go grab it. I'm gonna move my phone like this for little bits. We have about an hour and 25 minutes until I have to go get Donovan out of his, let me see how I can prop myself up. Here we go. And I can put that here. Try to get nice and comfy. This is not the greatest. I have like I had to rig my what you call a little bit. I could never read. I hate reading. Why do you hate reading, Kiwi? I love a good story. Oh my goodness, something is happening over here because there's more police cars going this way. I wonder what's going on. No, they're not names. They're questions, Dame. Have you read Stolen Legacy? No, I've never heard of that. What kind of story is it? I like to read fiction novels. Oh my goodness, there's more police over here. I wonder what's going on. There's a bunch of police going this way. Down the street. What's up, Lexa? Welcome back. Can I talk to you tomorrow? I'll be on live. You can always. Yeah, I do enjoy reading. I've written books too, Bone. Is it Bone or Boone? But I've also written books. I write books. Oh, I can actually put my. You look good in the sun. Oh, thank you, Travis. I just watch. My favorite book that I've read, I really, well, I really love the book that I wrote. Obviously, I wouldn't have written it if I didn't love it. So obviously, I've read that book a million times. But outside of my own books that I've written, I really enjoyed. I don't know if you guys ever read Gone or seen. It's a movie, so if you haven't read the book, maybe you've seen the movie. It's called Gone Girls or Gone Girl. It was a really good book. It's kind of like a psycho thriller book, and sometimes I like psycho thrillers. I also really enjoyed It Starts With Us. Hi, Joy. Nah, Mr. Johnson, I'm gonna mind my business. JR, everybody knows that I'm married. It's no secret that I'm married. You don't have to come into the live stream every time talking about how I'm married. Everybody know that. What you talking about, Alexa? My book? Welcome in from Liberia, Albert. What's my favorite job that I liked doing for a living? Well, I really enjoy making content. This is the most fun that I've had. But I feel like that's like not a great. I feel like that's just like such a cliche answer because like obviously I like content. I wouldn't be doing it every single day if I didn't have to. Because I don't have to, but outside of that though, I really enjoyed. I used to work at this church daycare. I started working there when my oldest boy I was like 5 months pregnant with him. I started working there, and I worked there up until he was like right before 2. So I was there for about 2 years, and I loved that job. Like I loved going to work every day, going to a church every single day for work. I enjoyed the staff that I worked with. I enjoyed all the families and the babies that I worked with. I also was my son's teacher. And so it was amazing just like being with my son every day and just being around a lot of good people. So that's the answer to that question, Gab. Exactly. No, and that's the one of the reasons why I wanted to get into social work. Growing up, I knew of a lot of people who had very negative experiences with protective services and stuff like that. And I think any person really, like not any person, but most of the times when you're on the receiving end of protective services, it feels very like it's not a positive experience. It's just like any person that gets like arrested or goes to jail. Like even if you are wrong, you're not like, yay, I get to, like, have you ever got a speeding ticket? Like, I've gotten a speeding ticket before, knowing good and well I was speeding. It still didn't feel good. Like, I was still upset that I got the ticket, even though I knew that I was speeding, right? And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times with certain so like people feel some type of way about police officers, people feel some type of way about social workers, but it's because usually the reason why they're there is because of something you did wrong, and no one likes to be corrected. You know what I mean? So why are you getting mad, JR? I don't understand. Thank you, Oob. Oh, JR, he's still not doing well. What's up, Travis? Okay, wait. Remind me again, Lexi, what you were saying. Oh, Lexi, you wanted to know where my book was at? You can find it on Amazon. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can, like, put a link on here. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, no, it's on Amazon. The book is on Amazon, but you can't add it on here. Would you collab with other people that do content? Yeah, I'm not against it. I guess it would just depend on, like, how we got to that point. Like, I am very protective of the type of content that I put out. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Christian, and I also don't curse. And so that is very important to me. Like, again, I don't necessarily make faith related content, but I still want my content to have, like, this overview of, like, Christ and joy and peace and kindness and all those fruits of the spirit that we talked about earlier. And so if I were to ever collaborate with another content creator, we would have to be on the same page in terms of that. And so that's why a lot of people ask, like, why don't you just do, like, fitness content, or are you a fitness content creator? And I'm like, no, I don't really, like, I enjoy fitness and I do engage in fitness, but I don't necessarily see myself, like, fully going, like, into that realm, just because it's just, like, very one note, and that's not who I am. Like, I've had many seasons in my life where my only physical activity was walking, or I was riding my bike or whatever. So I'm not trying to be like a gym shark. Actually, Bon, I feel like it's okay. It is pretty fine to walk and talk at the same time. It helps your lungs. It's a good workout. Have you ever been out of breath because you were walking and talking? That's a good workout. Okay, have fun washing your face. Oh my goodness, Harold. Did you guys see Harold's question? Harold, are you still in the chat? Harold, are you still here in the chat? Yeah, no, that is one of my favorite books, Ike. Okay, yeah. I have a couple of follow-up questions, Harold, if you don't mind. How old is your son? I'll pin I'm gonna pin this comment so you guys can see what we're talking about. The comment says that I truly need some advice. My son expressed abuse. A safety plan was put in place, but in the forensic interview, he did not disclose. I believe my son is telling the truth. What can I do? But yeah, I have a couple of follow-up questions, Harold, in order to be able to answer that question. I'm just very curious. What's up, Gigi? Poundy in the house. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have a 4-year-old son. Is the person that he disclosed to you the abuse? Is it somebody that you guys know? Yes, JR, you're gonna have to stop telling people that they can't, like, if a person come in the thing and just, like, has a compliment or something, that's fine. I have no desire to talk to anybody else off of this app That isn't my husband in that way. So just because a person comes on and is complimenting, you guys cannot be crashing out on people. If they're coming in and they're saying something perverse or saying something extremely inappropriate, then sure. But outside of that, y'all cannot be crashing out because somebody comes in and says baby or hello. Like, if it doesn't bother me, it don't bother my husband. Like, you can't be warrior, the chat warrior, when we have moderators for a reason. So if a moderator needs to remove somebody, the moderator would. Y'all don't have to be crashing out on people in the chats. Like, okay. Oh, Harold. Okay, Harold, you said his mom. Oh, that's tough. And there's a current safety plan in place saying that mom can't be with the child unsupervised. No, JR. At this point, you the one who got to chill out a little bit. I worried for his safety. He is already self-blaming, saying I was being bad. Do you have full custody of your son? What's up, Rich? Y'all, Rich just joined the membership program yesterday. Shout out to Rich. He a busy bot now, y'all. No contact. This is the extended safety plan, but it ends on the 30th. Yeah, I would just say for you to petition to the courts, continue to go back and try to see if you can get custody, or if you can be like custodial parent, so that way the child is with you primarily. And then I would see about maybe like supervised visitations. I will say, depending on what you're defining as abuse, you know, your son, he's only 4. He needs his mom. Obviously, if she's being unsafe and like abusive or whatever, you need to be protective of your son and don't allow abusers to have access to your baby, no matter who they are. But he is going to need his mom. And so if you are going to make the decision to remove him or remove his mother from his life, you have to make sure that it is in his best interest. You have to make sure that it's in his best interest, because there's going to be like residual side effects that come with taking him away from his mom. Again, I'm not saying that it's not worth it if she is in fact abusing him. But again, it also depends on how you're defining abuse, because some people like to use, you know, narcissism or like all these different terms. They like to overuse them because they're kind of like trendy or whatever. So you want to make sure abuse is, you know, that's a serious allegation. Now, if she used, you know, some type of form of corporal punishment and y'all might not agree on how she disciplines, that's a conversation that y'all need to have. You know, this is kind of how, you know, I feel like is appropriate ways of disciplining. Like, let's get on the same page, or, you know, you can't be out here doing da 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 da. But anytime, obviously, if he ever reports any type of abuse again, you continue to report it higher up to get the support that you need. But hey, tell your let me read these comments in the chat. Y'all tripping. Yeah, no, JR, this is like day 3 of you crashing out. It's so strange. I don't understand. We were all good, JR. You've been in my live streams for a little, like a week, couple weeks now. I don't understand why all of a sudden you like got really protective. Like unnecessarily protective. Harold, do you have any other questions? That's a great question. I don't know if I fully answered or if I was, you know, obviously it's hard during the live stream to kind of get your question answered, but I hope that I answered your question. If I didn't, please let me know if there's anything. Ooh, this right here. No, 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 Hero, you good. Oh yeah, no. So she was doing too much. Okay, yeah, no. I think that there needs to be some type of, ongoing protective measure. And I think you need to make sure that you're doing what's in the best interest of your baby. Again, I do think that he's going to need his mom. And so finding ways to maintain that relationship, but making sure that he's safe. So that might mean that you have supervised. Are you and mom together? Are you and mom still together? Why does he? So I'm assuming you and mom aren't together. He lives with he lives with his mom primarily, and now, oh, they have 50-50 custody. Why don't you petition for full custody of your baby? Yeah, so why don't you petition for 50-50 custody of your baby? What's up, Goodwin? Ike. A chat warrior is crazy. Yeah, you should continue to push for full custody of your son. And honestly, if the safety plan, you should ask for continuation through the court. You could request for a continuation of a safety plan through the court, like an order of protection, and you should be able to get it for a year. Thank you, Oop. Yeah, that's tough because I would be crashing out if somebody bust my baby lip. I would be ready to crash out. Thank you, Ethan, for the like. You guys, we're running out of time. We only have 8 more minutes, and I've gotten 0 super chats. Looks like I ain't doing no push-ups. Y'all always be asking me to do push-ups in the chat. Y'all want me to work, but y'all don't want to put in no work. Make it make sense. What's up, Mbai? I'm doing good. How are you? Have you got a... Get out my chat. Isn't Lexa a minor? Lexa, how old are you? Oob, how old are you? Lexa, how old are you? You don't got to say your exact age, but are you over 18? Lexa. What's up, Okitha? Keith daughter done changed her name in the chat. Now I really know who you are. What's up, Okitha? How you doing? I know, right? Right, Bone? I feel like something fishy over there too, right? But you know good and well I ain't driving out and meeting up with nobody. Yeah, 8 is crazy. Okay, Oob, no, you don't need to add Lexa's name anymore. That is a baby, okay? And if you keep on, you gonna get put in timeout and probably blocked because we not perving on no babies in this chat. American. What's up, Daniel? Poundy said, surely will. Kiwi. Kiwi, you gotta add me on Instagram. I do believe that, spirit aroused spoiled a child. I don't necessarily believe in like corporal punishment and like taking out anger. on children. I think what happened, y'all know I was raised in the 90s. Okay. And so just like the 80s and the 70s, and I was raised by a single mama, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, enough said. So I understand there's levels to discipline. Um, I don't necessarily agree that, like, so even now, present day, if I am upset with my son to the point where I am, like, I'm angry, like, you done made me mad, I'm not going to, like, discipline, you know what I mean? Like, in that moment, because I don't believe that adults should take their anger out on children. I think that adults need to be emotionally regulated if they're going to be disciplining children. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. Parents are often overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated, stressed out, tired, whatever. And that decreases their ability to be patient with their children. And then in turn, the children end up being abused because there's a thin line. There's a very, very thin line between discipline and like abuse. like or like discipline and anger, like, and yeah, like, I'm not ever about to fight my kids. Like, that's crazy to me. And I've seen it happen where parents are just mad. This is also why I believe that as a mother, my primary job is to raise my children, and any other thing that takes away from me being a mom and raising my kids is like counterproductive. And so that's not to say that women shouldn't work or can't work. However, I do believe that if your work is taking you away from being able to raise and nurture your parents, or like causing you to run thinly with your children or your spouse, then you need to reassess like what you're doing. Like you gotta mixed up, you gotta messed up, you got a little messed up. You know what I mean? Mom, can you put this Oob guy in Oob bad wreck? Bad wreck? I'm assuming you're older than 8 years old. So you about to get put in timeout because I just said stop talking to that little girl. And you keep on addressing her. And we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that. Leave her alone. She's a child. Thank you, Agawa. I hope that answers your question, Ike. What are your thoughts on disciplining? I guess in the chat, like, what are y'all's like thoughts on disciplining children and different forms of discipline? I'm very curious. I also believe that discipline, like, I feel like sometimes, well, I've heard like my friends or family like explain to me a situation that their kid did, and then they explain to me the consequence, and I'm like, yo, that consequence was not equitable for that discipline. And that goes in either way. Like, sometimes their kids do like really bad things, and then they just like, oh, they don't watch TV, like, or something, like something super small, or in the averse where it's like they just did like a normal child behavior, right? Like normal 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old talking back or something like that. And then the parents like crashed out. And I'm like, yo, like, we're going to have some balance with these consequences, because that's crazy. Yeah. Harold, it's really hard for the state to be able to take action. One of the things that I enjoy about the country, especially where I live, and depending on what states you live, is that we as parents have the liberty to kind of raise our children. And I'm very big. That's the reason why I homeschool my son. I will homeschool my youngest, is because I'm a big component on, like, I don't want the state to tell me how to raise my kid, right? Like, I want to be able to have autonomy in raising my child and my children in the way that I want to raise them. However, with that, then yes, if you have a parent who is being abusive, it's very, very hard for the state to take action, especially when it's like one parent's word against the other parent's word and the child isn't really able to, or there's no proof of whatever's going on. But I'm a little confused though. Like, if the baby's lip was busted open, there should have been a police report and charges, like criminal charges. At least that's how they do it in my state. Like, criminal charges would have been charged on her, and she would have definitely been up for losing, like, rights to her kid. A family, like, team meeting tomorrow, and I plan on being vocal that I don't agree and believe my son. No, yeah, for sure, Harold. You're the only one that can advocate for your kid because your kid's a baby. Again, yeah, I agree, Richard. That's one of the things I definitely learned working for CPS. Growing up, it was like this idea that, like, oh, they gonna come take your kid. Like, you better sit down for DCFS come get you. Or CPS gonna come get you. But no, like, it is very hard. And I've had situations where them babies was, I'm like, this is scary. Parents are doing all kinds of substances. They fighting each other. They sleeping in their car. The kids, living with, bouncing from home to home, like living with friends. And they like, yeah, there's not enough direct or immediate. It has to be an immediate threat to that child's safety in order for the kid to be able to get removed from the home. And then even after that, there's like several steps so like, again, at least in the state that I live in, if DCFS or the Child Protective Services is called, there's an investigation. If that investigator is like, oh yeah, no, this is abusive, the kids aren't safe here, that investigator can choose to take protective custody of those kids. But then they have to go to court like within 2 days, and then the judge has to say, yeah, no, these kids can stay. They can either go to court and then the judge be like, there's still not enough evidence, and send them kids right back to that house, or they can send them into foster care. So there's a lot of steps. Yeah, Rich. Yeah, Rich, I agree. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Harold, if you're saying that your son's lip was busted open by mom, was there not a police report filed? You say that there's a protective order, but that a protective order is expiring. Why? Like, why is it expiring? Have you not been vocal? Is the child with you right now? Like, is the baby with you right now? Because he can't be with mom if there's a protective order. So I'm assuming that then the baby is with mom, with you, not with mom. And then why would the baby then leave from your home and go back to mom? Even if the protective order ends, you can still petition to keep your son, and mom would have to take you to court in order to get him back. I mean, he's only 4. So there's no need for disclosure when there's evidence. There's no need for disclosure once there's evidence. How long ago has it been since this happened, Harold? What's up, Taylor? Welcome in, girlie. Yes, no, I agree with that, Kiwi. I do believe that you cannot spare discipline. Children need structure. Children need to be taught right from wrong. I don't think you have to do that by abusing them. Like, you don't have to do that. My son is he's a kid. Like, he does stuff, he gets in trouble, he is, testy and all those things, and there's consequences for disobeying. But I would never like crack my kid upside his head or pop him in his mouth and make his lip bleed because he done said something I didn't like. Like, that's just crazy to me. This was March 8th, and they just did the interview today. I feel he didn't disclose because he's a safe man. We aren't trying to talk about much. Didn't want them to think we coached him. Yeah, you say we. I'm assuming. Is there another woman? You said we. Who is we? Are you remarried? Or you have a girlfriend in your home? Who is we? You said we. We didn't want to coach him. Who is that? Who are we? And like I said, I'm assuming that the baby is in your home right now. I keep missing that if you said it already. Right, Rich. I'm gonna need some of that, something off that grill. Like, grill some pineapple for Gigi. Yeah, no, I agree, Ike. But we also then grew up emotionally unregulated. A lot of kids, especially in the Black community, grew up emotionally unregulated, very passive. A lot of the men are passive because they were beat up by their mamas. Um, like, yeah, it obviously, and I know a lot of people who say stuff like, well, I was whooped and I turned out fine. And then when you start to actually like talk with them and learn about their upbringing and like things that they gone through, it's like, baby, you were not fine. You actually aren't fine. You're dealing with depression. You have an alcohol problem. You have relational issues. You have attachment issues. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to express your emotions, but you say, but you fine because you got whooped. Like, no, it has not produced. Granted, I know some people who were whooped and are doing okay. Like, I was whooped and I was fine, but I also had to do a lot of growth and healing through that process. And me and my mom have reconciled that relationship through that. But there were times where me and my mom's relationship were very strained because of it. But it was a generational cycle that we needed to break, and we broke it, and are now breaking that with the grandchildren. But nah, like, that junk is not healthy. Aw, kiwi. Kiwi, your favorite fruit isn't kiwi? Is your favorite fruit kiwi? Hey, Randy, thank you for the gift. Got some gold coins. We like gold coins. Y'all always sending me gifts. I be forgetting about kiwis. Kiwis are fire. You don't like kiwis though, do you, Gigi? Good night, young let. You going to bed already? Wake your butt up. Wake up, young let. Wake up. What's up, Michael? Welcome, man. Yeah, but it was the Generation X or whatever that generation is that raised them 90s and 80s babies. I feel like people always be saying, "Oh, the millennials do 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 do." Who raised us? It's the people who raised us that y'all should be looking at. Even nowadays, when I see a kid that's defiant or bad, I'm not looking at that kid like, "Oh, you bad." I'm looking at their parents like, "How did you raise that child like that?" Like it's the parents. I be seeing a lot of posts on here like where like kids will commit heinous crimes. There was just this one thing where this dude got sentenced like 25 years, and he was like a teenager, got sentenced 25 years. And there's like a lot of mixed thoughts on it, like, oh, he that's so bogus, he's so young, da, da, da. But the person that was doing the commentating was like, bro, where's this person's parents at? Like, this person's parents need to be held accountable, because how y'all raised, or like I seen this one thing was like a group of 10-year-old boys just did awful things to a little girl, awful things to this little girl at a playground. She was just walking home from school, and they dragged her and did awful things. And all the people involved was under 10 years old. You could look at them kids and be like, yeah, y'all wrong, because they are. But where y'all mamas, and most importantly, where y'all daddies at? Where y'all daddies at? That's crazy. What's up, Aaliyah? Gen X, the ones who raised the millennials, though. Yeah, no, I feel you on that one, Rami. Yeah, I think we have to discipline our kids, man. You have to. The Bible say, "Spirit of wrath spoil the child." Again, I don't believe that children need to be abused. I believe that children are the most valuable gifts, second to salvation, second to our spouses. We have God and salvation. We have our husbands and wives, and we have our children. And I believe that the greatest gift that God can give a man and a woman are these babies, and they deserve to be loved and nurtured and cared for. But it is so unloving not to provide structure and discipline. It's so unloving not to give guidance to your child, because that child will grow up and be an adult one day. And if you raise a child, because it's really not raising them if you just letting them do whatever the heck they want to do, you let them raise themselves. And when they become adults and have real adult issues, bro, like you just setting your babies up for failure. And I see it. Again, I worked in child welfare for 4 years. 4 years too long. And I've seen some horrible, horrible things. I've seen some horrible, horrible things. And almost every time it started with parenting. You would have little girls being preyed on by adult men, right? And these parents file complaints about their child being preyed on by an adult man, okay? Which they should. File the report. They should. However, why you let your little girl go stay the night at these houses of these people? You don't even know them. You know of the little girl that your daughter friends with, but you don't know these people. You letting your child go sleep in a house that you've never been into. That is poor parenting. Poor parenting. Y'all gonna make me hot. Y'all gonna get me hot up in this car. Yeah. Dang. No, that's hard. That's horrible. That is horrible. What generation are you, Zaki? And do you have children? Cause you sound very passionate. Are you raising children? You can't have kids. There's no way you have kids. Nah, yeah, I agree, Okitha. What's up, Julian? Nah, not you want that bad. You want that far away though. You want that bad, but you ain't that you want that far away. No, being a parent is hard, and that's the thing. A lot of people have kids and they don't even understand the responsibility that they just put on themselves. Raising children is the most important thing that you'll ever do. It's so hard, and that's why I talk about when people be like, oh, I don't want to get married, or you got to be careful who you marry. But y'all, you say, I've heard people say, man, you got to be careful who you marry. You just can't marry anybody, but they got 4 baby mamas. You need to be careful who you have children with. That's why children should be within the marriage, but that's neither the point. But now you have 4 children with these 4 different women, all of which you don't like enough to marry, but you like them enough to raise your child. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. You're going to allow a woman who you did not find to be wifey material to raise the most important thing that you could put on this earth, and that is your children. I don't understand it, y'all. Yeah, Rich, if I was qualified to give my children degrees, I would I would homeschool them. I mean, obviously I have no idea. I don't hold the future. God is definitely in the driver's seat of all things in my life. I always wanted to homeschool, never thought I actually would be able to homeschool. But yeah, I mean, as long as I'm able and as long as it makes sense for my family, I will homeschool my boys. What's up, Ellie? 2 15-year-old boys and one 11-year-old girl. And so you feel like, so when you describe, I'm talking to Rami, when you described children of this generation, were you describing your children as well? Because you said you have 2 15-year-old boys and an 11-year-old girl, and you said that the children are soft. You said that they're like weak, they can't fight. You said that they're basically cooked, essentially. Were you describing your children? Because that sounds crazy to me. I agree that the generation at masses are struggling. Sure, but I don't necessarily agree that like the whole generation, like my kid is gonna be all right because I'm raising them, and I'm not gonna let anybody else raise my kids, and I mean anybody, including the school system. Like, so yeah, I'm curious what you meant by that. What's up, John? What's up, Divine? What's up, OY? What did two love 29? What did you say? You didn't even think about that. You didn't think about what exactly, Rich. I agree. Rich says at least a marriage you can get out of. Yeah, no, I agree. Your bloodline? Question mark. Thank you, Julian. What's your question, Abraham? Oh yeah, two love. That's crazy to me. No, watch. The genetics for what? Appreciate you, Nelson. Yeah, I appreciate that. Kiwi just goes dot, dot, dot. What do you say dot, dot, dot for, Kiwi? Oh, because you say you're stepping up. Does your dad work, Kiwi? I thought Harold said something else, and I think I missed Harold's message. Oh, that's what he said. These kids are soft. They can't fight. They're over emotional. They follow, not lead. They are the waste bunch. It keeps us in the driver's seat for another generation or two. Yeah, I just find that to be very interesting from a person that's raising two boys, two teenage boys, to say that. Because aren't you raising young men? Like my son, like I have two boys. My oldest boy specifically, the baby, he's still little. So like when I think of him, I just still think of him as a baby. But even so, both of them, when I look at my boys, I look at young men that I'm raising. Like these babies, as cute as they are, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, 6, 7 years old. They're so cute. They're babies, whatever. But they will only be babies for a very small portion of their life, God willing. But they will be men for a much longer portion of their life than they will be little boys, little babies. And so everything that me and my husband try to do with our boys are with the understanding that they will be fathers and husbands one day. And we want them to be leaders and to be assertive and to be able to critically think and to know why they're doing what they're doing and be a leader. And so I would never describe the bunch of children, because that bunch of children are the children I'm raising. So y'all kids might be a wasted bunch. My kid's not. My kid's not gonna be a wasted bunch, because we working hard on them babies. Oh no, I agree, Rich. My son plays basketball. He done played baseball. He's at theater right now. My youngest goes to daycare because I do feel that in this developmental stage when they're really, really little, especially my youngest, he was premature. He was like 7 weeks early. And so in order to ensure that he is, meeting all his milestones and meeting all those social markers, we have decided to keep him or put him in daycare. Now, mind you, he was already in daycare while I was working. I just became a stay-at-home mom. So my youngest was at daycare and my oldest was going to private school. And my oldest boy, you guys have seen him. He's a very, very social kid. But I can almost guarantee you guys, almost every time that I'm not on live, we are with someone else's children, allowing my sons to socialize with other people's kids. We have close relationships with a neighbor who has children a similar age group. We have cousins. Like my son just got invited to a birthday party from a little boy who was on his basketball team. They've never been to school together. I also believe that no matter whether your kids go to public school, private school, or homeschooled, the only way that your child can have a healthy social life is if you as a parent navigate that or help assist them in navigating that. Right now, they might go to school, and this is the part that I don't like about it, because I don't want other people's parenting to influence how my child is parented or how my child receives information. So I've seen it a million times where like kids go to school and then like they come home with information that somebody else's kid done shared with them. But I am friends. Whether I love it or not. I am friends with all of my son's friends' parents, all their moms. So every one of my son's friends, their moms are my friend. Because I need to ensure that however that child that my son is calling friend is being raised in a way that is in alignment with how I'm raising my son. So we need to agree. Now, I have friends who are non-believers who I am friends with. Our kids are friends. We agree to disagree on religion. My son has tried to baptize these kids more than once. And they, so the kids will sometimes have conversations about religion. We don't encourage, obviously, conversations about it because we are grown and we understand that we don't agree on that topic. But we also teach our kids that you don't have to, you can love somebody. Loving somebody doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they do. Love is not affirmation. So we love our friends. We don't affirm their disbelief in Jesus Christ, but we still love them. Yeah, no, I agree, Rich, but I also feel like a lot of the bad stuff that I learned socially were from school. All the bad social stuff, all the bad social habits that I learned, not all of them. I learned a lot of bad social habits in the home as well, which we just talked about that and some unlearning as in that. But I learned a lot of counter. So I grew up in a Christian home, and I believe that, the Christian worldview is important. Obviously, it's important to me. And so I learned a lot of counterproductive stuff socially in the school. So sure, I do agree. A lot of what you learn at school, but also I feel like, is that what the school is meant for? No. And this is part of the issue that I have with the public school setting, is that, yes, most of it is like, this is where that word indoctrination kind of comes in. Most of what kids learn in school have nothing to do with academics, but the reason why they're there should be academics. So if anything, that split that you're talking about, Rich, that 30-70 is exactly the reason why I don't think that children should be outsourced, or education should be outsourced in that way. It doesn't really work, because nowadays, especially, and it was always an issue even in the 90s, but you have kids that go to school every single day and can't read. But that's because, just like you said, 70% of what they're learning isn't even academics. That's crazy. Again, that's a rough estimate. We don't know that exactly statistically, but you're saying from your experience, 30% of what you learned at school was academics, 70 was social. And then we look at these kids' test scores and wonder why they can't read. Yeah, no, I will miss that part. I don't know. My kid don't go to school to socialize. My kid should be going to school to learn how to read and write, not to be taught different political views than what we teach at home, different religious views and what we teach from home. That's not what the school should be for, but that's exactly what's happening. And, whatever. Ellie, I'm so sorry about your loss. Yeah, no, I agree, Harold. Oh, that's so awesome too, love, that your daughter tells you that you're a good mom. I love that. Yeah, oh, Keitha. Donovan is passionate about Jesus. Oh, that's so funny. Everybody here in the stream, bless you. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's getting dark outside. Y'all see how dark it is? No, I agree. To Love 29. Oh no, not bugs. Let me see if I can turn on my brightness on my phone. Okay, I turned the brightness up on my phone. Hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. And we had class that was all discipline. If you cut up, you had to hold dictionaries and stand in the corner. 70% of kids, unfortunately, are dead now. Yeah, no. A lot of the people that I went to school with, or my husband went to school with, are no longer here. Thank you, Luke. You are loved as well. Hey, Brandon. He says, I knew all the academics I needed in life by 8th grade. High school taught me how to talk to girls, advocate for myself, time management, who not to say gravitate towards. Yeah, but for some people, they gravitate exactly towards the people that they shouldn't gravitate to. Okay, so how when a student at home test score is low standards? I mean, it depends on what metrics you're using to measure the standards, William. Bye, Kiwi. Yes, we're definitely praying for your family, Harold. Well, see, that's the thing too. A lot of people don't realize with homeschooling, because we're not paying, like we were paying for private school, not doing that anymore. But with homeschool, you have the flexibility to like tutor as well. Like I just watched this video of this one woman. She was saying that like a lot of what her kids do are through guided tutors. My son right now, I mean, he's only in first grade. He's not behind or testing behind in anything. But if it ever came to a point where like, okay, he's not doing well and I'm not able to provide him that level of, focus, I would just get him a tutor in that subject. So we could still outsource education, but in the home, and it still will eliminate, like I said, that indoctrination piece of it. That person will come into the comforts of our home, or we'll meet at a library. I actually know a lot of homeschool kids that do tutoring still as well. Yeah, and we utilize a curriculum. So I actually utilize a curriculum, but I have some homeschool families that I know that don't use a structured curriculum. But every homeschool parent that I know of, even if they don't do a full structured curriculum, they all have some type of metrics that they outsource for assessments. So the whatever state that you live in should provide like state assessments for each grade level that you can use to test your child and make sure that they're testing where they need to be. You can also utilize federal ones as well if you want, just a more kind of transferable one. But yeah. Mm. Yes, technology is a good one. We try not to outsource too much technology, but yes, we utilize this app programming for reading enhancements. So we do our curriculum, like the curriculum for lessons, and then we do a app for reading enhancement enrichments. And honestly, since I've been homeschooling my son, now granted, my son in kindergarten, my oldest in kindergarten, he got all A's and B's throughout kindergarten and was prepared to go to first grade. When I pulled him from private school and did his assessments, he was actually not tracking. So that homeschool assessment actually had a higher standard than his private school assessment. Also, public schools, depending on the state you are in, have these like no child left behind type models. And so even if your kid doesn't test well, they still get pushed up to the next grade. And so these assessments, it's like they're getting these assessments, but it's not even relevant. So for example, with my son, when we started first grade, I actually did kindergarten assessments. He did not score where he needed to be for this particular curriculum. So we started first grade with kindergarten curriculum, completed all that kindergarten curriculum because he was probably about halfway through kindergarten per the homeschool assessment. And so we were able to finish kindergarten curriculum in about 2.5 months. And then in early November, late October, we started like mid-October, mid to late October, we started first grade curriculum and now have been doing first grade curriculum. But so for me, I feel like because he's being homeschooled, and even one of the things, my son, he's so smart. Right before kindergarten ended, and I was kind of telling him like, hey baby, we're going to be homeschooling next year. He was like, mommy, I don't want to homeschool. I'm scared for homeschool. And I was like, why? And he was like, because there's going to be no other kids in the class to answer the questions. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. So basically he was saying, like, if you've ever been in a kindergarten, first grade classroom, they do like these circle time learning, right? And so all the kids sit on the carpet, and then the teacher will hold up a letter and say the letter is like a B. And the teacher will hold up a letter and they're like, what letter is this? And then like all the kids will say B, right? But if you're the kid that didn't actually know the letter, you hear all your friends saying the letter and then you just copy them and just be like, oh yeah, B. So it's like, how are they even assessing which kids know what until they take a test, right? Then they take a test and then they can assess whether or not the kid is. So he was already like aware of like, oh wait, this is actually going to be, homeschool is actually going to be harder for me because I'm not going to be able to hide behind these other kids if I don't know something. I'm not going to be able to lean on my classmates if I don't know something. And it's very true. Now I know exactly where my son is doing well, and I know exactly in what areas he's struggling in, and I am able to tailor his learning specifically for him. My youngest is not even 2 yet. So by the time my youngest starts kindergarten, well, we'll probably start like three, preschool 3 with him. So that's still in another like year or two. My oldest will be almost 9. Yeah, I'll be 8 or 9. So it'll be a little bit but yeah, I'll be able to just like customize each one of their what is happening in the chat? I'll be able to customize each one of their learning for their specific needs. And I feel like, I feel like kids thrive better. It's literally like he's getting one-on-one tutoring for every curriculum. What do you mean by green? You talking about like Wicked? Rich, you would have been so green like Wicked? Yes, our community library always has something going on for the kids, different programs and stuff, and I love it. Yeah, I'm still trying to get these games, man. Just not right now. Let's see how many steps I have, actually. Yeah, I'm getting me a chicken sandwich or something tonight. I don't know what I'm eating tonight. I never got my chicken sandwich yesterday. Mm, mm, mm. Oh. Yeah, no, I agree with that as well, Trey. And so me and my husband have kind of talked back and forth on if we'll have the boys go to high school for public school, because that's where like sports really pick up and there's all the extracurriculars and all the programming, things like that. But it will also just really, really depend on where we live and if we would either do public school or if we would just do private school for high school. But it would also depend on the cost and putting two kids through high school, 20,000, it's like $20,000. Well, it's like 13,000 a year for high school. And um, in 8 years from now, it's going to be even more. So, we'll see. I think it depends. My stepbrother was homeschooled, but he didn't start homeschool, I think, until 6th grade. So he actually did the opposite of what you guys were saying. He went to public school for all his foundational stuff, and then he was homeschooled from 6th grade to 12th grade. And that boy is currently, like, I think he just graduated with like a radiology degree or something like that. The boy's smart as heck. So public school taught you how to dress. Rich, did you grow up with your father in the home? Or were you raised by a single mom? Yes, to love. I feel very blessed to have a loving husband who provides for us, and I can just focus on raising my boys. I am very blessed. Mike Wayne, I was single mom. You were a single mom or you were raised by a single mom? And if you were, are you still? Yeah, that's how I feel. I grew up with my father in the home until 8th grade, but my parents have been married for 36 years. My dad moved out the country for work. Okay. Cause I say, why didn't your daddy teach you how to dress? You said you learned how to dress from school. Wouldn't your like my husband is like way more into like dressing and like he's from an inner city. I did not grow up in the inner city. I grew up in the outskirts. But my husband learned, how to dress, and then naturally he just teaches our son. So like my son really, really, really loves to put on clothes, but it's because he's trying to be like his dad. Dang, Japan, that's bogus. Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying with your dad leaving, that I'm sure that was impacting your upbringing. No, I'm not country. More suburban. I grew up in the suburbs. She can't be that strict, Japan, if she letting you on this YouTube app. Oh my gosh. You talking about that Social Security check, you get rich? All right, you guys, I'm about to go. I'm going to pull one question before I go. I'm going to pull one question out of the bowl because I haven't pulled a question out this bowl in a long time. I don't got no light for real, though, so hopefully I can see. I pulled one, y'all. I hope it's a good one because sometimes these questions... Oh, wait. Actually, YouTube just asked us a question. Oh, dang. Never mind. It went away. Take care, too, love. Hopefully I see you soon. Talking about the 65 and older. Here, let me see. I'm gonna just do the question that what you call asked. All right, here we go. We got a question, y'all. Do you like your trip planned or spontaneous? Are you more of a planner or are you more spontaneous in your trip planning? Trip planned or spontaneous? He talking about SSI. They better not change my check. I don't like planning. How old are you, Japan? You said you 14 too, right? You're welcome, Marcel. Thank you for being here. So Sharp is more of a spontaneous trip person. Trey says planned because I need to Google what type of place I'm going to. Yeah, I don't like being somewhere like, now it depends. Welcome back, Abby. Abby, are you a planned trip person or a more spontaneous? I am not spontaneous. I don't know. I don't know. What y'all think. What do y'all think I am? Ignore that I said anything. Neither that means I stay in the same place. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm more spontaneous? Rich said, or am I more planned? Planned, I'm going to watch 50 YouTube vlogs before I visit a spot. I need to know the crime rate and what's going on. What do you guys think? I mean, I guess not even just like trips, just in general. Like on your day-to-day life, are you more of like a planner or are you more just like spontaneous? Like on your day-to-day basis, like are you very routine oriented or you kind of just like go with the flow? I don't know what my chapstick is. My lips dry as heck. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. I'm playing but down for spontaneous moves within the planned activity. Okay, I get that. I'll jump in on a trip in a minute. I'm willing to hobo on any trips. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, no, I think that's like the best. I think that's the best way to explain it as well too, Rich. Like, yeah, no, I want some, and I think that's how I am, like in my day-to-day basis, like in my day-to-day life, not just for a planned trip. Like I'm the type of person that's like, okay, these are kind of the things that need to be done. We are very task oriented at our house, not necessarily like time oriented, right? So like these are the 7 things that need to be done today. I don't care when they get done, for real, long as they get done before bedtime. Like that's kind of the vibe. So it's like I know what I'm doing. It's the same thing with like food, and that's yeah. I was trying to do like a what I eat in a day, but I'm so temperamental with food. Like some days I eat like today. Today, for example, y'all know what I ate today? That banana on the live stream. I drank my drink, my little creatine and protein lemonade. I had a banana. I had a peanut butter cookie that my mama made. What else I eat? Oh, I had 2 oatmeal cookies. I've been eating cookies all day. I ain't eat no food for real. What else I eat? Oh, I ate 1 chicken nugget from my youngest son's plate because he was wasting them. So I took one of his chicken nuggets. And I've been waiting all day because all I want to eat is Culver's. And I know it's going to be really fatty and high in calories. So I just been trying not to eat a whole lot so I can have a real fat back meal today. It wasn't, yeah, but that's how, like, I don't really eat. Like, I eat 1 time a day. It's Ray on the burner phone is crazy. You about to head out, Trey? Wait, where did Rich go? Oh my goodness. Rich was incognito. He was in incognito mode. Rich got that membership. Rich and the members. Rich, are you a busy bot or are you are you a busy bestie? Rich done found his community. What's up, Rich? And we want to know that next trip. I hope you're not the police. Is crazy. You ain't even gonna have to watch a vlog for your next trip, Rich. Just come on, drop into the live. We'll give you all the tea. Hi, Salvador. We're doing fine. Big Poppy. Yeah, I was doing my Walmart, like come to the store with me or whatever, that grocery haul. The Big Poppy talking about some, you work at Walmart? No, I don't work at Walmart no more, man. I quit. I quit. I was just in there shopping. I was in there shopping. Dang, Kiwi done lost the clout. Kiwi, I saw your comment with this 01 account. I can't see your other comments. Like, YouTube automatically delete your comments. Ugh. 3 months of your life is crazy. All right, y'all. I got to get off this phone so I can go get my baby. Rich, ain't you old enough to be everybody in the chat dad? You old enough to be my daddy, ain't you, Rich? How old is you, Rich? Big Poppy be trolling. Oh, you only 30. You younger than me, Rich. I thought you was old. I don't know why I thought you was an old man. If I would have guessed, Rich, I would have thought you were like at least in your 50s. At least. Whole time. You're an old soul. Yeah. Yeah, he young enough to be your son, though. Get back on the live once I get Donovan. Nah. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm about to go spend some time with my husband. He didn't get home till like 1, 2 a.m. last night, so I didn't really see him yesterday at all. You'll do just fine, Luke. We'll be praying for you. Nah, he just said that he was raised with his mama. His daddy went to go work in Nigeria. Are you Nigerian, Rich? It's the Dame for me. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. All right, you guys. It's been real. We did get 1 super chat and a bunch of gifts. So I don't have to do push-ups. You are Nigerian. We probably cousins, Rich. I'm like 41 point something percent Nigerian. What up, cuz? Anybody ask, I'm like, yeah, oh, y'all know my cousin Rich? Rich Reloaded? He a rapper. He got bars. No, that ain't you with bars in the chat. That's I am bars in the chat. Yeah, don't even risk it, Kiwi. Hopefully you can, but don't risk it. Love you, Abby. Good night, you guys. You guys have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, my dears and dudes. Yes, don't forget to sub and don't forget to like. Yeah. Don't put yourself in a compromising position. Let the Lord take you. Mr. Bebo crazy. He was cracking up laughing at your comment on that video. Tell Mr. Bebo take your phone, bro. We was crying. Good night, Aubrey. I already know you on me. You on the sub. You part of the bottom. I'll tell him you guys said hello. Y'all, make sure I'm gonna tell him y'all said make sure he get my fish sandwich. Watch he want to go somewhere else and I'm gonna crash out. I ain't never gonna get this. I ain't never gonna get this fish sandwich. All I want is a fish sandwich. That's all I want. Give me my fish sandwich, baby. Y'all about to break my phone. I just want my fish sandwich. Night. Right. Watch we go to Chipotle or Panda Express for the 12th time this month. This boy mom just took off running. That's hilarious. It's a mom and a dad. They playing tag. It's a mom and a dad and a little girl and a daughter. And they playing tag. And these parents, it's the parents. These parents is turned up. The little girl watching them and they are playing tag. I had to make sure there wasn't it wasn't no domestic. But no, they were just playing. They were playing. They both smiling. I'm like, she running for her life. She was, chest was up. I guess the car was based because he stopped running when she got to the car. They were gone. Oh, I almost got y'all off of the mic. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? I don't know what I'm finna be doing on this live tomorrow. Hey, with the golden poop. It's crazy. Happy poop. It's crazy. Thank you for the gift, Poundy. Poundy is crazy. All right. Bye.